Hello everybody, Wannabe Reviewer here, and welcome back to the Wannabe Podcast, episode 11. Now before we begin, I just want to say that this week has been I guess you could call it an emotional roller coaster for me. On the one hand, I have been having a ton of fun with Smash, and I have been playing it a lot. For those of you wondering, yes, after I put up the latest podcast, my copy of Smash finally arrived, and I have been playing it like crazy, both single-player mode, multiplayer mode, all the different modes. I've just been having a ton of fun with it. And, I'll probably talk about it a little bit later, right? So, in that sense, life has been pretty good. However, on the other hand, I was quite disappointed a couple days ago when I discovered that my sub count, just overnight, went from 816 subscribers down to 689 subscribers. And I don't know, on my end, I can totally see the numbers. I believe that for everyone else, if you check it right now, I think all of you just see the regular original number, the 816. But yeah, I see the 689, and I think that honestly, it's still processing, and soon all of you will see the lower number as well. And yeah, it's just disappointing because, I get it. Numbers aren't everything. And I also get that, since then, YouTube put out this message saying that they're trying to, purge some of the spam accounts and that, it's supposed to be a good thing because then you know who's actually watching your stuff, So instead of just spam accounts that are just sitting there, you have actual subscribers who are actually watching your content, that kind of thing. However, I still can't help but be disappointed because that's quite a drop in numbers. And I don't know. I was just so proud of finally reaching that number. And I just felt like I was so close to that 1,000, which is, one of the steps to finally reach monetization. And I just feel like I've been working towards that goal for so long. And I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm disappointed, Even though I know that supposedly in the long run, it's supposed to be good for me because I'll see actual numbers, actual concrete supporters. It's just one of those things, it just sucks to see that drop. And it just sucks to see that drop, basically overnight. So, yeah, not gonna lie, that was just really disappointing to me, and I don't know, I still don't really know how to deal with it because it just sucks, I guess. But, that aside, I do have quite a few things to talk about, both when it comes to news and stuff I did this week. So, I guess I'll dive into that and try to put the pessimism aside, I guess, for now. So diving into my week, I didn't do much, but the things I did were things that I really enjoyed and things that I, really want to talk about. So when it comes to manga, I did not start a new series just yet. I feel like right now isn't the right time to commit, to a new series. However, I did catch up on an old series. So for those of you who remember, I mentioned a manga called A Bride's Story, about a month ago was the last time I talked about it. And I said that I was going to take a quick break from it because I felt like talking about it every week was kind of dull. And, there was other things I wanted to read. However, yeah, during this last week, I caught up. I flew from, I want to say chapter 30-something up to chapter 65. And yeah, I've just really been enjoying it. And I've said it before, but I definitely recommend it. This story is awesome. The art is awesome. And the look into the Central Asian culture of the 19th century is awesome. And yeah, I've just had a ton of fun reading this. In case anyone needs a recap, the story is all about this girl named Amir. She's 18 years old. She gets married off to a different family. Her husband's a 12-year-old, which is weird. However, the relationship between the two is really nice and they really love each other and they're getting accustomed to being married and being around one another. And the story is all about Amir dealing with this new family of hers and how she bonds with them. And at one point, her old family, her biological family tries to take her back because they regret marrying her off. They want to use her to marry to a more rich family, and she doesn't want to because she loves her new family, and that's a struggle, and you basically have to read it for yourself. However, it's a really good story, and one of the last things I remember saying is that I thought that the way the scope had opened up should not only focus on Amir, but on other characters in the community. I thought that it was really well done, and I was really enjoying it. And yeah, since then, in these last 30-something chapters, we get more of that, which I really enjoy. Like, for instance, there's a part where I want to say, like, for like 5 straight chapters, we don't even see Amir. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's about these 2 twins. They're teenage girls. They're of marrying age. And they're always plotting how to get themselves rich, handsome husbands with like a lot of livestock, that sort of thing. And they're really funny because they're like really rowdy and crazy. And they always have all these plots. Like, there's one point where they're like on a bridge and they see this old man with, I don't remember what he has in his like wagon, but he's carrying like some good stuff and he looks rich. And so their plan is to knock him out. And then he'll be so grateful that they saved him that he'll supposedly reward them with like his sons, you know, in marriage or whatever. And so they're like standing on the bridge, and when they see the old man coming, one of them grabs like a huge fish and just like chucks it at the guy, knocks him off his donkey, and then they like drag him back to their village. And they think that, you know, supposedly he's gonna be like so thankful, he's gonna reward them, but instead their dad knows what they're up to, and so he kind of like scolds them, and it's really funny. And then there's like another part where I think the same thing, I think they say like, oh, you know, we have to have like our heads covered, you know, with this like traditional garb, but if some like handsome boy runs into us and, you know, he accidentally like grabs our like hair or whatever and touches us, he'll be like forced to marry us because, you know, oh no, he was being indecent by like touching us. And so they're like looking for like a handsome boy, and they try to like run head first into him, and instead they knock over, I think, like some old man and his cart of fish, and he's pissed off at them. And I don't know, all this stuff that's really funny with these girls plotting how to get their sons husbands, but they always fail. And I don't know, it's just really funny. It's the kind of thing you have to read, but it's just really charming, and seeing the culture is great, seeing the art is great, and I don't know, it's just a ton of fun. As I said before, it's called A Bride Story. I've talked about it before, and I continue to recommend it. I mean, up to now, I'm up to chapter 65. I think in the app that I read it from, Manga Master, I think it's up to like chapter 78 at the moment. So I'm, you know, basically caught up. And yeah, I would really recommend it. I think anyone who reads it will have a ton of fun with it. And yeah, that's basically it. But I've just really enjoyed it. And once again, Teeny Leaf, thank you for the recommendation. Moving on, when it comes to anime, I did watch a new anime series. However, I don't want to talk about it just yet because I figure that since I didn't finish it, might as well talk about it next week so I can talk about the whole thing. However, what I will say is that it is a very strange, very crazy series. And yeah, hopefully by next week, I have an opinion to give you guys and a recommendation of whether or not to watch it. When it comes to TV shows, didn't watch anything new. Likewise, when it comes to movies, didn't watch anything new either. When it comes to games, only played one game, and that, of course, is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, as I said earlier, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has taken a lot of my time this week, but I have really enjoyed everything I've played so far. I think the new characters are great. I think the old characters are great. I think all the levels are awesome. The music's awesome. I think all the different modes are fun. I mean, basically all I can say is that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is awesome, and I recommend it. I mean, I think the new characters are a ton of fun to play as. I think that if I really have to say a standout, surprisingly enough, I have really enjoyed playing as Inklings. I mean, I don't know why. Honestly, when I saw the trailer for them, or like the whatever you call it, announcement, I wasn't even that excited to play as Inklings. I mean, I was sure they'd be fine to play as, but I didn't think I would like them that much. However, once I really got a hand on playing as the Inklings, I've just really enjoyed it. I mean, something about the little what do you call it? Ink bombs they throw are a ton of fun to use. The paint roller, you know, running people over with it's a ton of fun. I think that, you know, being able to sink into the ground as a squid to get more ink once you run out of it's like a lot of fun. And I don't know, I've just had a ton of fun playing as the Inklings, surprisingly. So, I mean, I don't know. If you're wondering if the Inklings are fun to play as, I mean, at least know that one person enjoys them. Besides that, though, like I said, I think all the characters are fun. I think that them bringing characters back like Ice Climbers and Snake is awesome. I really enjoy seeing them back. I think that the choice of levels is really interesting. Since I didn't play the 3DS version of the previous game, seeing some of these levels that I didn't play as last time is fun because at least to me they feel new, you know? And yeah, I mean, the game is just really good. I know a lot of people said they were kind of disappointed with World of Light, because I think honestly they expected it to be like Brawl, where there was going to be like a big story mode and a lot of cutscenes. And I think that's unfair because, to be fair, ever since World of Light got announced, they had always said that it wasn't going to be like Brawl and that it wasn't going to have like a huge story. And so, you know, on the one hand, I think it's unfair to compare the two because it's one of those things where Sakurai had always said it's not going to be like Brawl. But not only that, but I mean, as disappointing as it is to not get like the big cutscenes and interactions with all the characters and all that stuff, I just think the World of Light is good for what it is. I mean, I think it's like the next best thing. So for anyone who doesn't know, World of Light is basically this huge map, and on each spot, there's like these different fights you have to engage in, and they all have different conditions, and the whole point of each fight is that it's one of these Smash characters basically like recreating one of these spirits from a different universe. So for instance, there's one spot where you have to fight Dr. Mario, and he's supposed to be representing Hal Emmerich from the Metal Gear series. So you fight Dr. Mario dressed in a certain color palette to represent Hal Emmerich, and he's backed up by a giant Rob, because the Rob is supposed to represent the Metal Gear. And so, I mean, I don't know, I think that's really fun. I think the way that they recreate all these different universes using the Smash characters they have is really creative. And I just think that the different conditions for each fight is really cool too. Because while some of them are just about using, you know, brute strength and just defeating the characters, there's some where you actually really have to think about what spirits you use and what like different buffs and stuff. Because for instance, I know there's a fight where there's this like huge gust of wind that can like push you off the stage. But if you have one of the spirits equipped that says that it has resistance to strong winds, then like that helps you in the fight. And likewise, you know, you have some fights where the characters, like specialty will be strength attacks, but if you use like the counter strength attacks, which I want to say are like defense attacks, so if you stack up your spirits in a way where you have like higher defense than their attack, then like you have an advantage. And so I don't know, I mean, I know World of Light isn't what people thought it was going to be. I think that if they're expecting Brawl, I mean, yeah, it's super different, but I've had a ton of fun with it, and I think that all these different, you know, recreations of universes is awesome. I think having to plan out each fight is awesome. And in case you're wondering, I've actually been fighting all of World of Light using just Kirby, which I know is weird. I know probably no one else is doing that, but I just thought it'd be fun to, you know, defeat the whole thing as Kirby since he was like the lone survivor. So yeah. And yeah, like I said, Smash Ultimate is awesome. I've had fun with it. I recommend it. I think anyone who has a Switch should buy it. I think that even if you aren't a regular Smash player, I think you'll enjoy it. And yeah, I mean, I just feel like Masahiro Sakurai outdid himself, and I don't know, man, I really hope that this is like the last Smash game, at least for a while, because the guy definitely deserves a break, because he did an awesome job. So yeah. And yeah, with that being said, that is basically my week. Like I said, I didn't do much. However, reading A Bride Story and playing Smash Ultimate, really enjoyed both things. Definitely recommend both pieces of media. And yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the news. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to talk about isn't really a news story per se. It's more of like an update. But yeah, for any of you who saw the latest video on my channel, it was all about YouTube Rewind 2018 and how not only was the video terrible, but also about how it was on its way to being the most disliked video on YouTube ever. Alright? So at the time of the video, which went up Wednesday, YouTube Rewind 2018 had about over 8 million dislikes and was second to Justin Bieber's music video Baby, which had, I want to say, like 9.2 million dislikes. So as of Thursday, YouTube Rewind 2018 is now the most disliked video in all of YouTube history with over 11 million dislikes. So yeah, on the one hand, that makes me kind of happy because, as I said in my video on the channel, I think that this video is terrible. I think that it kind of is a bit disrespectful to the YouTube community. I think that the way YouTube is moving away from content creators and creativity to this like MTV model is really bad. And basically what I'm saying is that while on the one hand, I'm kind of happy to see this happen because I hope that it really sends a message to YouTube. And I think that this amount of dislikes is very well deserved. On the other hand, I gotta admit it makes me kind of sad. Not because the video doesn't deserve it, but it just makes me sad because it just further cements that YouTube just sucks that much. You know what I mean? Like, not only do they make this terrible video, but yeah, it's the most disliked video ever. And YouTube hasn't even commented on it, really. Like, they had this comment where they said that, oh, you know, we didn't mean to make something this bad and this disliked. But the fact that they haven't even really apologized is just, you know, it's disappointing. And I don't know. I mean, it just kind of makes me sad, because I guess this for me really cements the fact that YouTube's kind of dying, you know? And it just really sucks to see something you care about this much and you enjoy spending so much time on just kind of like lose its magic. I don't know, it's just disheartening, I guess you can say, you know? So, yeah, that sucks, I guess. But as I said, I mean, it's well deserved, so I don't know. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for YouTube. Hopefully it makes them change some things in the future, but I guess only time will tell, right? Speaking of stuff that only time will tell how they turn out, and that right now are very disliked, I don't know if you guys saw, but yeah, there were movie posters released for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's supposed to come out next year, and oh boy, do they look bad. I have links in the description below, but basically right now I'm looking at the first poster, and it just looks so awkward. I mean, basically it's the silhouette of what's supposed to be Sonic, but he just looks like this weird tiny person in proportions, but with like a big head just stacked on top of the weird buff body. And it just looks so weird, man. And then the second poster, it's this weird shot of like Sonic, I guess, sitting on the Golden Gate Bridge, looking at his own like motion blur. And it just shows like the camera's basically where his crotch would be, I guess. And it's just a shot of his legs, but his legs look all weird and like muscular and like fuzzy. And he's wearing these weird, like realistic sneakers. And I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think these look terrible. I think anyone who was weirded out by the Detective Pikachu trailer, you haven't seen anything yet, check out these Sonic posters. Now that is uncanny. Because, oh my god, I don't even know how to describe them. They just look really creepy, really weird, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say, guys, because they just look strange. And the comments from the people making the movie are also really strange, because basically they talk about how Sega isn't happy with the new design, but they felt they had to do it to like fit the realistic setting or whatever. So that doesn't give too much enthusiasm towards the movie. And like, I don't know, man. I mean, if you guys look at anywhere talking about the posters, there's like this unanimous, you know, comment from everyone that they think it looks terrible. And yeah, I mean, I just don't know what to think about this movie anymore. When I first heard about it, it seemed interesting. Then as I've heard more and more details, it just sounds worse than worst. And like I said, I mean, I guess only time will tell. I mean, at least I hope that if it's terrible, I hope it's like so bad, it's good and memorable. But I don't know. I mean, only time will tell, I guess, guys. But yeah, if you're interested, check out the posters. They look really bad. So the last few stories have been pretty negative. However, this next story is a positive one, and that is that Donut County is coming to Xbox One and Switch on December 18th. Now, I don't know if any of you played Donut County or even heard of it, but Donut County is this really fun, really like quirky and unique game that basically the objective is that you have like this hole in the ground and you move it around and you basically suck up like smaller items. And as you suck up items, your hole gets bigger and bigger and you're able to suck up like bigger items. And yeah, basically it's just about sucking up everything in the environment. Sometimes there's like these puzzles that, you know, you kind of have to solve in order to like suck up the rest of the stuff. But yeah, and that's basically the whole game. And I know it sounds really weird, but it's a really fun game. And I don't know, it's the kind of thing you guys have to check out for yourself. But I am pretty excited because I played on PS4. I thought it was a really fun game. And yeah, the fact that it's coming to other systems, I hope more people check it out. It's a really unique game. It's really fun. I will admit that it's kind of short. So I don't know if maybe you guys want to wait until it's on sale to buy it. But I recommend it. I think it's a fun game. And the humor and like writing of it's really quirky and like funny too, so. And like I said, that's on December 18th. So that's only a few days from now. So I'd say check it out. Likewise, I have another piece of video gaming news, which that apparently there's this game called El Hijo coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC in 2019. Now, I think what caught my attention about this game is that, as the title states, it's described as a non-violent spaghetti western stealth game. And yeah, I mean, if you read the article, it talks about the game a little bit, it describes it, and there's like a little bit of a trailer. And basically what it says is that it's about this mom that's a farmer and her son called El Hijo, which actually in Spanish means the son. And it's all about how like their farm gets attacked and she leaves her son in a monastery to protect him, but he doesn't like the monastery life and he escapes. And I don't know, what I think is interesting is that the art style is pretty cool looking. It's kind of like cartoony storybook style. And yeah, just the fact that it's described as a non-violent stealth game, I think is really cool. And it says that it's supposed to be like really has a big emphasis on like shadow play, like you hiding the shadows, I guess. I think it sounds really interesting. I think that, stealth games aren't really a thing anymore. But yeah, I just think the idea of like a new stealth game is cool. And I know a lot of people like in the comments are saying that like, oh, a game that's like non-violent sounds kind of boring, but I don't know. I mean, I think if a stealth game is really stealth, you don't really encounter people anyway. There's not really a lot of violence anyway, because you're like avoiding people and hiding and stuff. So I don't know, I'm excited. I think it sounds cool. I think the visuals look awesome. And even the title just sounds interesting, El Hijo, the son. I just think that sounds really interesting. So I'll be keeping an eye out for it. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. On the opposite end of that, while I was describing this game as non-violent, coming this January to Netflix is Season 2 of one of the most violent characters ever. And I am talking about the Punisher. That's right, according to this article, The Punisher Season 2 will be releasing on Netflix in January, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think the first season of The Punisher was great. I think that even if you don't really like Marvel superheroes, I think you can enjoy The Punisher because, I mean, first of all, he's not a superhero. He doesn't have, like, superpowers. And second of all, I don't know, I think like his story and his show doesn't even feel like a hero thing, I mean, he feels like an anti-hero. He goes around killing whoever he has to. It's super bloody and violent. And like I said, there's no superpowers. And I don't know, I mean, I just thought the first season of Punisher was really good. I thought that was really interesting. I think that John Bernthal, I think that the acting was really good. I thought that what he brought to the table was awesome, and he was like this really conflicted, interesting character. And honestly, I think the first season ended really well. I'm not really sure what they're going to do for a second season, but yeah, I'm excited. I think that the show is awesome. I mean, it is pretty violent. I know some people might not be into that, but I mean, if you've never been bothered by violence, or you just really love The Punisher, if you enjoyed the first season, I mean, I don't know. I think you'll enjoy it. And I definitely look forward to it. I definitely want to see what happens with the story. And unfortunately, I think this is probably the last season The Punisher's going to get, because I know that Marvel is kind of pulling all their Netflix shows. But I'm still excited. And I hope that it's just a bloody good time, I guess, Speaking of Netflix, there was also the story about how Netflix just announced that there's going to be an original Aggretsuko Christmas special. And so I'm pretty excited for that. For anyone who has seen my channel, I loved Aggretsuko on Netflix. I thought that the series was great. I feel that Aggretsuko is my spirit animal. I feel like I can relate to her in a lot of ways. And not only that, but the Aggretsuko review is my highest viewed video on my channel, so I'm really proud of that. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I love Aggretsuko. I can't wait for more of it. As the story talks about, there's going to be a second season next year. But in the meantime, they're going to do this little Christmas special. And I'm looking forward to it. I think that sounds fun. And yeah, I mean, for anyone who hasn't checked out Aggretsuko, definitely recommend it. And yeah, not really much else to say. Aggretsuko is awesome. Likewise, there's also this other story from Netflix, which, wow, I just noticed a lot of these stories have to do with Netflix. But Netflix has a Carmen Sandiego animated series that's supposed to come out in January. Basically, the story talks about how there's a animated reboot for Carmen Sandiego, and the main character will be voiced by Gina Rodriguez, who's known for playing Jane the Virgin, and it's supposed to come out in January 2019. And yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not really too much details yet, but I hope it's good. I remember watching the original Carmen Sandiego cartoon. I thought it was a ton of fun. I thought it had a good mix of like educational stuff with just an interesting story going on. And yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. I hope that it's good. Hopefully it's not disappointing. I know a lot of reboots are disappointing, but I mean, Netflix has done other really good stuff lately, so I'm looking forward to it. Finally, the last story that I want to talk about is that apparently the director of Your Name, Makoto Shinkai, has just announced that he has a new movie in the works. Called Tenki no Ko, which apparently translates to Weathering with You. This movie's supposed to hit Japanese theaters in July 19th, 2019. And yeah, I mean, there's not much of a synopsis. It's pretty short, but I think it sounds really interesting. It says that it's supposed to be about a boy and a girl that meet, and the girl's able to control the weather, and yeah, I mean, that's basically all it says, but I think it sounds like an interesting enough premise, and I think that Your Name, was a really good movie, so I think if the guy who made Your Name is in charge, I look forward to it. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's all there really is to it. There isn't really much to the story, but I think that, like I said, I'm excited for it. I think that the fact that he is writing the script and directing it sounds awesome. I think Your Name was a really good movie, so hopefully he knocks it out of the park again. And yeah, I mean, I guess just look forward to that. It'll hit theaters July 19th, and hopefully it has like a worldwide release not too long after that, so. And with that being said, that once again brings us, guys, to the end of another news week. I will admit that as I look over at my recording time, I do feel like that went by a little too quickly, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the stories were very brief, very cut to the chase, didn't really know what other details to give about them, so hopefully it's not as much of a disaster as I'm imagining it to be, and hopefully you guys found at least one of the stories to be interesting or entertaining, so let me know, right? With that being said, it is now time to move on to the content creator spotlight. And yeah, the content creator for this week might be a very tiny channel, but I think that she deserves praise nonetheless. All right. Basically what I'm talking about is a small animation channel called DDchan Animates. All right. And yeah, currently sitting at 14 subscribers and only around 300 views. I gotta admit, I don't know where I discovered her, I don't know how I ran into her channel, but all the same, I am really lucky to have found DDchan Animates because I think that what she is doing is awesome, alright? So basically what DDchan does is that she has like this little avatar that's supposed to be her with pink hair, and she just animates herself in all sorts of like situations. She talks about all these like life stories that happen to her. And yeah, they're just really interesting and they're just really fun. Like, for instance, one of the ones she did about a month ago in time for Halloween was called I Was a Furry, Halloween Animated Story Time. And it's just this really fun story about how back in grade school, she wanted to dress up as the big bad wolf. And so she made this costume for school. She put it on, all this good stuff. But nobody knew who she was. And it's just this really funny story about how now that she thinks about it, she realizes that she was dressed as a furry, so that's funny, and how it's just a funny story because it was really frustrating how nobody knew what her costume was supposed to be. And I don't know, you guys just have to watch it. It's only like about 5 minutes, but it's just this really fun, really cute story that's, a personal story that happened to her. Likewise, the newest video that she put up on the channel is called Parent at 14 Part 1. And it's really funny because when you first click on it, you think it's like, oh my God, was she really a teen mom? Like, what's this about, right? But as you watch the video, it's this really fun story about basically health class and how she was given this baby to take care of and carry all over the place. And I don't want to spoil it. I feel like I already spoiled enough, but it's just this really fun story where she just talks about her experience carrying this baby around for health class. And I don't know. All of her stories, I mean, she doesn't have too many videos, but all of her videos are just really fun, really cute. I think the way they're animated are, I think she does a really good job. And I think that with practice, she will do even better. And I don't know, I just want to give her a shout out because despite being a very tiny channel with not much going on yet, I think that with some time and with some patience and with people discovering her, I can see her going really far, right? So, DDchan, if you're watching this, I just want to say that I think you are doing a great job with what you're doing. I think that all your stories are like really fun. I think they're really cute. I'm always really excited to see another video by you. Like as I said, you have the I Was a Parent at 14 part 1. I'm definitely excited for part 2. I want to see where your story goes. And I would just say keep up the good work. I know that you're a tiny channel at the time, and I know that maybe YouTube is kind of difficult right now for animators and stuff, but I would say don't give up. Like even if YouTube doesn't work out, I say keep using your skills because I think you are an awesome storyteller and an awesome animator, and I think you can do big things. So I say don't give up. And likewise, guys, I think you guys should all check her out, give her some love. As I said, she only has 14 subscribers at the time, so if any of you could subscribe to her, I think that would be a big help to her. And yeah, just if you guys go to her channel, tell her that I sent you, and yeah, just keep up the good work, DDchan. And with that being said, that once again brings us to the end of another podcast. I feel like episode 11 was quite short. I don't really know why. I just feel like there wasn't much to talk about, not much details to give on stuff. But as I said, hopefully it was still a good podcast nonetheless. Hopefully there was something that each of you found that was interesting and entertaining, that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, as always, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I actually am planning to record with a friend next week. So hopefully next week's podcast is a little bit meatier. Hopefully I have some friends on and we talk. And there's more content, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say, guys. As always, my name has been Wannabe Reviewer, and I will catch you guys next time.